1800 hours Pakistan Standard Time. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Sumaira Kamal. The headlines first. Finance Minister says Pakistan's economy rebounded strongly during the current fiscal year and posted a growth of about 4%, which is substantially higher than the previous 2 years. Launching Pakistan Economy Survey of the outgoing fiscal year in Islamabad this afternoon, Shaukat Tareen said despite the strict lockdown, Pakistan's exports have increased by 13.6% till April due to government's export-oriented policies and strong economic recoveries. Prime Minister has directed all the federal ministers and provincial governments to take steps for promotion of investment in the country. Foreign Minister says Pak-China bilateral relations are improving under the flagship program of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesperson says no power on earth can defeat the Kashmiris' resistance movement, which has been nourished by them with their blood. In Pakistan Super League, Karachi Kings have won the toss and elected to field in Abu Dhabi. And now the news in detail. Pakistan's economy rebounded strongly during the current fiscal year and posted a growth of about 4%, which is substantially higher than the previous 2 years. This was stated by Minister for Finance Shaukat Tareen while launching Pakistan Economic Survey to 2021 at a news conference in Islamabad, accompanied by Minister for Industries and Production Khusro Bakhtiar, Commerce Advisor Razak Dawood, Special Assistant on Poverty Alleviation Sania Nishtar, and Special Assistant on Revenue Waqar Masood. According to the economic survey, the GDP at the current market price stands at 47,709 billion rupees, showing a growth of 14.8% over the last year. The agriculture posted a growth of 2.8%, industries 3.6%, and services 4.4%. In industry, the manufacturing recorded 8.7% growth on account of significant growth in large-scale manufacturing and SMEs. The large-scale manufacturing increased by 8.9%. The construction sector recorded growth of 8.3%. Shaukat Tareen said FBR collection has seen an increase of 18% as compared to the last year. The revenue collection has so far reached 4.2 trillion rupees, expressing the confidence that they will exceed the target of 4.7 trillion rupees by the end of this financial year. During the current fiscal year, the total revenue as percent of GDP stood at 15.1%, whilst total expenditures at 23.2%, thus fiscal deficit stood at 8.1%. During July-March of this fiscal year, expenditures under the PSDP stood at 653.9 billion rupees. Shaukat Tareen said remittances grew by 29% this year, which have so far reached $26 billion, and these are expected to increase to $29 billion by the close of this fiscal year. He said Pakistan's exports bounced back after a sharp hit during strict lockdown in the last fiscal year, mainly due to export-oriented government policies and strong economic recoveries. By April, exports were amounted to $20.9 billion as compared to $18.4 billion in the same period last year, which shows an impressive growth of 13.6%. The imports stood at $44.7 billion during the 10 months of the current fiscal year as compared to $37.9 billion in the same period last year. Foreign exchange reserves stood at $22.7 billion in the first 10 months of the current fiscal year. The finance minister said the total debt stood at 38 trillion rupees by the end of March this year, including 25 trillion rupees local debt and 12.5 trillion rupees foreign debt. Prime Minister Imran Khan has directed all the federal ministries and provincial governments to take steps for promotion of investment in the country. Chairing a meeting in Islamabad today, he said the targets set for the investment should be timely achieved. The Prime Minister said the investors should be extended facilities to do businesses. He said the country is heading towards stability and investment is an important component to sustain and further accelerate the economic growth. The Secretary Board of Investment apprised the meeting about the steps taken to remove obstacles in the way of investment and business in the country. State Bank of Pakistan has launched commemorative coin of 70 rupees in connection with the 70th anniversary of establishment of Pakistan-China diplomatic relations. A ceremony of issuing the commemorative coin was held in Islamabad today, which was attended by Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi, Chinese Ambassador Nong Rong, Senator Faisal Javed Khan and Governor State Bank Dr. Raza Bakir. Addressing the event, Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi said Pakistan and China have been enjoying close relations for last 7 decades and friendship between the two countries is all weather and time tested. He said both countries have been supporting each other on issues and on all international forums. He said the bilateral relations are improving under the flagship program of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which is in its second phase. This is Radio Pakistan. Chief of Army Staff General Qamar Javed Bajwa, while appreciating the efforts of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for polio eradication, has assured continued support of Pakistan Army for this noble national cause. He was talking to the President of Foundation and Chair of Global Development Programme, Christopher Elias, who called on him in Rawalpindi today. During the meeting, matters related to Pakistan's efforts for comprehensive polio eradication were discussed. The Army Chief acknowledged the services rendered by polio health workers for polio eradication in Pakistan. The President of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation appreciated Pakistan Army for supporting the national anti-polio drive, particularly through involvement of community leaders. In Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, the All Parties Hurriyat Conference has said that India witnessed a single Jallianwala Bagh incident, whereas the freedom movement of Kashmir carries in its lap scores of such incidents of bloodshed at the hands of Indian troops. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesperson and other Hurriyat leaders and organizations paid rich tributes to the martyrs of Chota Bazar, Srinagar on the eve of their martyrdom anniversary. A report released by Kashmir Media Service said the Gori incident in Chota Bazar is one of the bloodiest massacres carried out by Indian troops in illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The All Parties Hurriyat Conference spokesperson in a statement issued in Srinagar said no power on earth can defeat the Kashmiris' resistance movement, which has been nourished by the Kashmiris with their blood. He urged the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to take cognizance of the genocide of the innocent people of Kashmir at the hands of Indian troops. Meanwhile, the Jammu and Kashmir Anjuman Shariah leader Agha Muntazir Mehdi, telephonically addressing from Srinagar a webinar organized under the auspices of Quaid-e-Azam University, Islamabad, urged the civil societies of Pakistan and India to play their role in bringing the two countries closer. In Afghanistan, 6 security personnel were killed and more than 10 injured in a car bomb attack close to a military base in Baghlan today. 79 people have been killed and more than 200 injured during the last 15 days in violent incidents in the country. Myanmar's military authorities have charged deposed leader Aung San Suu with corruption, the most serious charge laid against her to date. Suu is accused of accepting cash and gold in bribes and can face up to 15 years in jail if found guilty. Meanwhile, 12 people were killed in a plane crash near Mandalay city today. The military plane was carrying 6 military personnel besides monks who were due to attend a ceremony at the Buddhist monastery in the town of Pain U Loen. In today's first match of Pakistan Super League against Karachi Kings at Abu Dhabi, Multan Sultans were 4-1 in 1 over a short while ago. Earlier, Karachi Kings won the toss and decided to field. In the second match, Lahore Qalandars will play against Peshawar Zalmi at 11 p.m. And finally, the weather. Mainly hot and dry weather is likely to prevail in most parts of the country during the next 24 hours. However, rain with wind and thunderstorm is expected in Upper Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan during evening and night. And that is the end of the news. For more news and analyses, log on to our website radio.gov.pk and also watch live streaming of our bulletins on the link facebook.com/radio Pakistan News Official.